So I can see some people are typing. Excellent. I really like when everyone has questions, and I'll share my screen with just a little bit background information if you are interested, so you can kind of know that you're in the right room for events tourism and hospitality degrees. So I'm just actually trying to navigate in the chat. Welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Milka Ivanova, and I'm one of the course directors in the School for Events, Tourism and Hospitality. In our school, we have several degrees which are at undergraduate level in each one of these subject areas. And we, of course, also have a portfolio of postgraduate degree in international hospitality management, international events management, and international sports management, as well as a distance learning provision in responsible tourism management. So I can start by telling you a little bit about Leeds. Leeds is a great place to study hospitality and events because in addition to a fantastic course or fantastic selection of courses, there are a lot of opportunities for students to get firsthand experience, either as part-time or as placement options. And all our courses, whether they're master courses or they're undergraduate courses, have a placement option on the course. However, when you're applying for your CAS or as well as your visa, but especially for your CAS letter, and I'm sure that might have been mentioned, make sure that you always select what is what we call a sandwich year. That way you will be issued, because that's an extra year on the course, and that way you'll be issued the right documentation for the right land, so you don't need to worry that you maybe not be eligible to undertake a placement option. But whether you undertake a placement option or decide to join the course, finish, and look for part-time work while you're working, or for graduate opportunities after you finish, Leeds is a fantastic place that provides many such opportunities, because Leeds is especially one of the big cities with that strongly depends on events and hospitality for its local industry. Leeds sees 30 million visitors a year. So it is quite a big and attractive destination for tourists. And just this year, Leeds has held over and is organizing over 5,000 events, right? So there are a lot of things going on, which means that there are a lot of opportunities both for part-time work, and many students do select part-time options to support themselves while those studies. But of course, there are a lot of opportunities in hospitality and events for graduate and postgraduate options after you complete the course. All the courses kind of are a mixture between academic and very applied practical side of skills that are needed in industry. We work with a lot of industry partners, so all the big hotel names such as Marriott, Hilton, Dakota, Carnation, and several and many others offer opportunities both for part-time and then career progressions. I've just had a student actually that secured a fantastic placement in London. So if you come to study in Leeds, but you're looking at placement opportunities, or you're looking or are looking to explain or to expand on those opportunities, you're not limited just to Leeds. I can see that slideshow. I'm not really doing a slideshow, so I prefer to talk about, and if you guys have questions, I can just tell you a little bit about what we do and how we do it if there is anything appropriate. So just because we have so many courses and so many opportunities, and it's kind of the portfolio is quite extensive. Obviously in terms of assignment and assessments. This is a very good question, but I can be a lot more specific if you also tell me which course are you interested in, because the different courses have some different approaches to assessment. But generally, while we're waiting to do that, I can tell you that in hospitality, there are some practical assessments at undergraduate level. So, for example, you may be doing presentation or preparing what we call an assessment day, where you might be role-playing different situations. We have reports, essays, presentations, different written types of examples. On events management, for example, there may be essays and reports, presentations, pitches, work exhibitions, online timed assessment, practical management delivery, reflective practices. So these are the types of assessment that you would have. Assessments are carefully timed throughout the calendar of the year. So each module may have 1 or 2 assessment maximum. You'll have a clear idea from the beginning of the year for each of your modules exactly how many assessments you have, when they're due, and what type assessments are, and what exactly you are required to deliver. So I can see that you're looking at hospitality business management. There are a variety of assessments, presentations, assessment days where, for example, you might be creating a portfolio that delivers on a job advert, which is within the industry. It may be around pitch. So perhaps you have you work to develop a new product, and you need to convince a manager or an investor to invest in your product or to take your product forward. You might have practical exams, etc. So hopefully, if you want anything more concrete, feel free to ask. But I can tell you a little bit more specific if you have a question, or if you tell me which degrees you're exactly interested in. So don't be shy. I think so if you're I can see obviously you're interested in hospitality. You may be interested in what the opportunities are, placement years. All our courses have a placement options. All our courses, whether they're hospitality events or tourism, at undergraduate or postgraduate level, have prioritize management, marketing, and quite a few specialist courses. So, for example, if you're in events management, or you're interested in the events management option, you will be looking at risk management for events. While if you're interested in tourism at undergraduate level, you might be studying crisis management. If you are interested in, let's say, hospitality business management, you might be talking about sustainable food and a lot of other exciting things which are relevant to the particular industry, in addition to management, operations, strategies. You might be, again, depends on which courses particularly you're interested. There might be some different characteristics, different approaches to assessment. But again, Mostly they're going to be essays, reports, so written type of assessment. On events management, there's some timed online assessments, for example, whereas on tourism, all the assessment, maybe you might have an assessment day. On hospitality business management in the first year, you might have an assessment day where you have different types of assessment for each module that you have studied in the year. In tourism, international tourism management, in the first year at undergraduate level, you might be having a project that you actually work throughout the year, and you might have 2 or 3 projects, and this is the way we approached assessment. At postgraduate level, you will certainly have essays, reports, presentations, reflective pieces. There are optional dissertations in undergraduate courses, in postgraduate courses. There are mandatory dissertations. There are perhaps opportunities to work as consultants and work with industry. We have a lot of opportunities to work with our industry partners, either in them delivering problems that students work to solve, or it might be that we deliver you may be delivering a consultancy project based on your original contribution, or we have guest speakers, or we have different, at undergraduate level, for example, we have different work-based types of assessment where you may be doing working with an industry partner as part of your professional development. So for responsible tourism management, because responsible tourism management is only available distance learning on a part-time basis over a 3-year period, there isn't an additional placement year because it is part-time. A lot of the people that already work take that module, work with industry. That's why it's part-time. However, in terms of the support that we offer, we have a lot of internship opportunities. We work a lot, very closely with industry partners. So you may be picking up internship opportunities throughout the course, but there isn't that additional year because the course is already very long. It is part-time over 3 years distance learning. But we work with, in terms of tourism, we work very closely with Jet2. For example, TUI, we work with all the main industry events providers, both local and national. We also members of a lot of organizations, and we have quite a lot of industry links with specifically responsible tourism companies. Yes, for the international hospitality management, there is a full year placement opportunity because that course is 1 year full-time delivered on campus. So, dear Masako, I'll get in touch with you separately because we have closed the responsible tourism management course delivery on campus. So this is something that's been approved. So I'll be in touch with you separately to discuss the options. We are not running responsible tourism management on campus anymore. But yes, there is a placement year for the international hospitality management. I can see that some students are asking how many hours of study per week. Typically, each module will have 3 to 4 hours. So you might be studying 3 or 4 modules depending on the exact programs. So generally, that would mean that you can expect to be on campus for 2 or 3 days. Depending on the exact course, but generally that is on average what the hours are. And again, the different courses. If you're interested in hospitality management, you will have in semester 1, you will have 9 scheduled hours on campus that you must attend, and that would be 2-hour lecture and 1-hour seminar for each of the modules that you study. And if you're have any questions, please feel free to keep posting it. But at this point, I want to invite Arman, who is a student ambassador, and he's one of our students on the International Hospitality Management course, and he could provide his own experience and perspective about studying in Leeds, studying at Leeds Beckett, and studying on the hospitality course. Arman.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Arman, and like Milka introduced, I am a student in the International Hospitality Management Master's course. And a little bit about myself, I am from Bangalore, India. So for those of you in India and you have any questions, you can always shoot them directly at me as well. And I would like to say, a certain few things that I think Milka covered pretty much everything when it comes to the placement that's there, the opportunities that are present in the Leeds, and also through the university and all the partnerships that they have when it comes to getting securing internships and securing placements and also post study work if and when necessary. So at the same time, apart from that, I can give you guys something that is great about studying in Leeds. It's one of the, I think it's the second best city in the UK when it comes to getting, work and when it's coming to getting pay. So the first being London, and I think that's pretty obvious because it's such a big city and it's a pretty world famous city throughout um, in the UK. And the second one will be Leeds, as per all the research and all the job opportunities that I've come across. So that's something great for those of you who will be starting soon here in Leeds, and especially Leeds Beckett, because Leeds Beckett has different opportunities through many of their websites, such as the MyHub website, which you will get introduced to later as well. You have access to a lot of information when it comes to job opportunities, not just part time, but also full time job opportunities. And there's always job fairs that are run throughout by the student union that in the different campuses, and some of them are catered to specifically hospitality in general as well. So. That's something that you can look at, and these are the opportunities that you can look at, as how to progress your career, and at the same time your university life as well. And the multiple support, there's a lot of support that's available for students here, especially via the careers team and the library team as well. So if there's any trouble that we've had as students during our assessments, we always have access to the teachers and the support from the library and the professors from the library as well. So they're always willing to help, so there's nothing that goes unnoticed. If you're willing to reach out for help, help will always be given to those who seek it. So,
And Arman, there is
yes.
a questions in the chat. How difficult is the course? I think you can answer that better than me. That's the hospitality, so international hospitality management.
Yeah, Amar, yes, sir. So the course itself in general, I would say if you are on top of it from day one, it necessarily is not difficult. I mean, of course, if you're lagging behind in your assessments, in your weekly work, and your a weekly repetition of whatever's happening in the seminars and the lectures, and if you're not up to date, it will be a little difficult to catch up, but it's not impossible, obviously. There are multiple times where I myself had to miss out on a couple of classes, a couple of lectures, and a couple of seminars due to emergency reasons and unforeseen reasons. And I was always able to make up time and catch up with my professors, and they were always willing to help out and cover what I missed out on. So that's something that'll always help out because everyone here is willing to help, and especially if you're, like I said, if you're willing to seek out help, they are definitely willing to offer that. But to answer your question, how difficult the course is, it's not necessarily difficult. And I understand that most of you are international students, obviously, like myself, coming from India. the structure and the system of education there is completely different compared to what I'm going through here now. So there's no form of written exams as per so far. It's mostly assessments and this presentations, most likely reports. So all of this information, right? It's already taught to you in the first few weeks. You'll be taught how to carry about your report, and not just that, it is repeated constantly by each and every professor in their modules. So you will not have any sort of difficulty unless and until I mean, you got to pay at least a 50% attention, right? You can't just be sleeping all day in class and try to think that you'll figure everything out by yourself. But yeah, to answer your question, it's not particularly difficult, but it will be it will be difficult if, of course, if you don't pay attention. That is there. And what academic challenge did you face? Yeah, initially I did face a challenge when it came to the style and the system of education that's here in the UK. But like I said, once you have once you get into the modules, once you get into the course, of course, before the module started, I went through the module handbooks and all the resources that were provided. I went through that, but once the module started itself, the professors were really helpful, and they made sure that we had all the information that we needed, and they covered all the important topics. And if any topic I needed any assistance with, they always were happy to help with that as well. So, I mean, I didn't face any particular challenges except for maybe time management, but that again, that comes with how you manage your time, not necessarily with studying, but also, juggling half of that with a part-time job and transport and, where you live. So all that comes into consideration. But I mean, if you're well prepared and focused and you manage your time well, I don't see any challenges as such that you will be facing. Uh, so, is there any other question that you would like to ask? I'll be willing to answer. But I think apart from that, I mean, the city of Leeds is pretty is a really good place for international students. There's a lot of diversity in this city when it comes to the food that's available, but also, like I mentioned, one of the highest paying cities in the country. So apart from London, so yeah, after London, the the gross pay that every job opportunity offers is the highest here in Leeds. So you are also open to uh, earning a lot more compared to the other cities. And when it comes to opportunities, there are plenty of opportunities, especially for hospitality students, and a lot of the hotels that are here nearby offer great opportunities, not just when you're working. I mean, not just when you're studying as a part-time student or like a part-time worker, a part-time employee, but also when you're graduating and getting quite, when you're looking for a placement or like a post-study work program. Since I have applied for the placement year sandwich year as well, I did get opportunities for that, but at the same time there are opportunities that I considered for my PSW. So that's something you can look at later when you get the opportunity. But I mean, as of now, I think I've spoken quite a lot, Mocha. I've been hogging the mic quite a bit. So if there's any questions that you would like to pose, I will be willing to answer.
Brilliant. So I look at another question, which is there a resubmission of the essays and retakes of the presentations? So yes, I can speak a little bit about the kind of requirements and how the system works. In Leeds Beckett, as in every other UK institution, you will have what we say, what we call first sit. So you submit your assessment and you do a presentation or you do a timed online assessment, whatever the assessment type is. And of course, your work is marked and you receive a mark in expressed as percentage between up to 100%. So we present, you'll get very clear instructions on what you need to do in order to achieve a certain mark and a certain grade. At undergraduate level, the pass mark is at 40%. Postgraduate level, the pass mark is at 50%. If you achieve the pass mark, fantastic. No other action. You continue to work on perhaps other assessments. If you don't achieve the pass mark of a 40% at undergraduate level or a 50% at a postgraduate level, you will be given an opportunity to retake and improve on the assessment so you can achieve a pass mark. At this stage, typically, in most situations, the assignment would be capped at the pass mark. So you might not be able to achieve a higher mark, although perhaps you've worked very hard and improved it. That's at the retake, but that's, you have one other opportunity to retake the assignment. If you do not do it the second time, you're out of, you don't have any options. You may need to repeat the year or repeat the module itself. There is a lot of support if you typically have not achieved by module leaders. There are clear instructions and support for delivering on to deliver on those assessments. If you are not successful again at the second time, it's not, there is no need to panic. I mean, your whole profile can be looked at at undergraduate and postgraduate level. You can carry one module with a lower mark, so lower a little bit, but that's just one module. If your profile, for example, has a little bit more failed modules, again, you have to retake. You have the opportunity to retake that, but typically they're paid extra. So there might be situations where you're not doing well on an assignment for a variety of reasons, and the university does have a process where extenuating circumstances are recognized. You may be given extra time. Typically, it's extra time to work on an assignment, or there might be other type of support. And the university has a variety of support students, variety of ways to support students, and in what is needed. And I'm kind of noticing that we're getting close to the time at 1 o'clock. So if you want, you can go back to the main room where there's going to be some of our international colleagues that are going to be waiting if you have any further questions that perhaps they can answer. In the chat, I will post my email. So if you have any further questions, or you perhaps need to clarify anything else, or you want to ask something more concrete about the specific course, please do feel free to get in touch with me. I can answer directly, or I can pass on one of my colleagues, maybe in events management or at undergraduate level, etc., that we can answer your questions directly in the future too. So you can see that, and hopefully you can see my email in the chat. So feel free to get in touch. I hope you found at least that we answered your questions. I can see someone has Isra has a question. Please let me, you're free to ask.
Hello, thank you for your time, but the chat doesn't work. It doesn't open with me.
Oh, it may be depending on how you're logged in. So I'll do something else. You can see my email. Hopefully you can still see my presentation. You can see my email there too. So if you're not able to see the chat for some reason, you can see my email address is on the slide. So feel free to get in touch. So thank you so much, everyone. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to stick around. Yes. So we specialize in hospitality. Actually, just today, if you're interested in hospitality, we are hosting one of the biggest hospitality conferences, not just in the UK, but globally. We have more than 90 delegates in hospitality management, both industry partners and academics from all over the world. We have people from New Zealand, from a lot, and we're one of the biggest hosts in hospitality. A lot of us are presenting our unique research. We specialize in all sorts of things, from risk management to hospitality operations, hospitality strategy, risk management, sustainability in hospitality, technology in hospitality, in AI, human resource management in hospitality, and that goes for undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. So if you want to know more, there is some information about the teaching team online too, but we have significant amount of expertise in a lot of things when it comes to hospitality and different areas. Same in tourism and same in events. So if you're looking at the different subject areas, we have quite a lot, both academic and industry expertise among our team. Yeah, so thank you, everyone. Masako, I'm just about to answer your email, and if any of you have any other questions, feel free to ask. And again, if not, you can go back to the main room if you have any kind of more procedural questions about the applications. Arman, thank you for your time. I think you're free to go. I'll finish. I'll finish up. I know Masako has a very different question that I'm helping with, but thank you for your time, Arman, and for your contribution.
Yeah, thank you so much, Milka. Thank you for having me,
Thanks.
and thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.